What if I told you that a memory you are 100% sure about never actually happened? Not a small detail, not something fuzzy, a memory so clear you'd bet money on it. And what if I told you millions of other people remember that exact same wrong thing? Not a coincidence, not a guess, the same false memory, shared by strangers who have never met. By the end of this video, you're going to test your own memory, and one of the last examples I show you is going to make you stop and rewatch it twice. This is called the Mandela effect, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Today, we're breaking down over 10 real examples, from children's cartoons to Star Wars to one of the most famous rock songs ever recorded. Then we're going into the actual psychology of why this happens to smart, careful, confident people. And finally, the theories. Some grounded in real science, some not so much. Stay to the end. The last example is the one that gets shared the most, and it might be the one you're most confident about. Let's start with where the name even comes from. In the early 2010s, a researcher named Fiona Broome described something strange. She remembered clearly that Nelson Mandela had died in prison in the 1980s. Not a vague memory, a specific one. She recalled news coverage. She recalled his widow's speech. Except Nelson Mandela didn't die in the 1980s. He was released from prison in 1990. He became president of South Africa. He lived until 2013. Broome wasn't alone. Thousands of people online said the exact same thing. The same false memory, the same confidence. And that's the core of the Mandela effect. It's not one person misremembering something vague. It's large groups of unrelated people sharing the same specific, detailed, wrong memory. So let's test it right now on you. Example 1, the bear family. You're picturing a children's book about a family of bears. Quick, how is their name spelled? If you just spelled it Berenstein with an E, you're wrong. It's always been Berenstain with an A. Millions of people insist they remember the E. Some remember buying the books. Some remember the cartoon intro. Same wrong memory, different people, no contact with each other. Example 2, the board game mascot. Picture the Monopoly man. Top hat, cane, mustache. Does he have a monocle? He never has. Not in any official art, ever. But ask a room of people, and a huge portion will swear he does. Example 3, the yellow mouse. Pikachu. Picture his tail. Is there a black tip at the end? There isn't. There never was. But this might be one of the most commonly misremembered designs in modern pop culture. Example 4, the cartoon name. Quick, what's it called? Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes? It's Tunes. It always has been. Tunes feels more logical, which, as we'll get to, might be exactly the problem. Example 5, the chocolate bar. Is there a hyphen in the Kit Kat logo? Kit Kat? No hyphen. Never has been. Just Kit Kat, one word. Example 6, the fruit logo. Picture the Fruit of the Loom logo. Is there a cornucopia, a horn-shaped basket, behind the fruit? There has never been a cornucopia in that logo. Ever. This is one of the single most reported Mandela effect examples on the internet, and the company has had to publicly deny it exists. Example 7, the curious monkey. Curious George. Does he have a tail? He doesn't. He's drawn without one, in every official version, despite being called a monkey, and despite real monkeys having tails. Example 8, the most famous movie line that was never said. Luke, I am your father. That line does not exist in The Empire Strikes Back. The actual line is simply, no, I am your father. No Luke in the sentence at all. One of the most quoted movie lines in history, and it's a misquote. Example 9, the fairy tale line. Mirror, mirror on the wall. In the original 1937 Snow White film, the line is magic mirror on the wall, not mirror, mirror. Example 10. And here's the one that gets shared the most. Think about the ending of Queen's We Are the Champions. In your head right now, you can probably hear how it ends. The studio recording fades out before the line most people are hearing in their memory. That famous final callback people picture, it's not on the actual studio track. It was only ever performed that way live. 10 examples. Different decades, different media, different countries, same pattern every time. So why does this happen? And here's the part that should actually be comforting, not unsettling. Because this isn't a glitch in reality, it's a glitch in memory. And it happens to everyone, including people with excellent memories. Your brain does not record memory like a video camera, it reconstructs it. Every single time you recall something, you're rebuilding it from fragments, and your brain fills the gaps with what feels logical. Think of it like a jigsaw puzzle with a few pieces missing. Your brain doesn't leave a hole, it grabs the nearest piece that seems to fit and jams it in, smooth edges and all, without telling you it did that. That's why a hyphen appears in Kit Kat, or an E appears in Berenstain. Those versions feel more correct structurally, even though they're wrong. There's also pattern recognition at work. Your brain is built to find familiar shapes and structures, even in random information, which is the same reason people see faces in clouds. And once you've formed a false memory, confirmation bias takes over. You notice things that support it, and you dismiss anything that contradicts it. And then there's collective memory. When thousands of people share the same false assumption, they reinforce each other online, and the false version starts to feel more true than the real one, simply because so many people agree on it. This is why intelligent, careful people fall for this just as often as anyone else. This isn't about being gullible, it's about how memory itself is built. Now, the internet doesn't always stop at psychology. There are theories out there that go further. Some believe in parallel universes, the idea that reality has split, and some of us remember a different branch of the timeline. Some point to simulation theory, the idea that we're inside a simulated reality, and these are simply rendering errors or updates. Others describe it as a timeline shift, or bring in loose interpretations of quantum mechanics to suggest multiple realities overlapping. To be clear, none of these ideas are supported by scientific evidence. They're popular, they're fun to think about, and they make for great internet discussion. But the explanation backed by actual research is memory reconstruction, not alternate universes. Still, it's worth asking yourself, if it is just memory, why does it always feel so certain? So here's the real question. If your brain can convince you with total confidence that something happened exactly the way it didn't, what else are you certain about that might not be true at all? Which of these 10 got you? Tell me in the comments. And tell me the one Mandela effect example that still messes with your head that we didn't cover here. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Mandela effect, subscribe for more videos exploring the mysteries of psychology, science, and the unexplained. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.